Hey, what's up, everybody? Sorry I took a little bit to get this set up because I was having some technical difficulties, but it looks like it's a pretty good stream. Are you guys hearing me okay? I want to make sure everything's sounding good. People could just let me know if everything's sounding okay. So anyway, here with Sierra, it's been warm down here. The forest fires have been crazy. I'm sure you've all probably seen it on the news with all the smoke and all that stuff. So I had to kind of go away from a bunch of different areas and see. Let's see, is my thing on? There it is. Hello. Okay, cool. Yeah, thanks, Josh. So I had to move camp. I've moved camp 4 times since last Monday, since last Tuesday. So here it is Thursday, and this is the longest I've stayed at one camp. I've been here for 3 days. So got down here, got that video done. I don't know if y'all saw it, the video that. Hey, what's up, Ray? I don't know if you guys saw the video today, the one with the Sprinter van, but that was the one I was working on, and I just wasn't happy with what I was putting out there because I shot like three different versions of that video, and all of them I was like really tired because I wasn't sleeping well because of the allergies with not being able to breathe with the smoke. And so I actually came down to lower elevations because I was up at like 12,000 feet and just getting choked out with a ton of smoke. So I'm down at like 9,000 feet now, and there's a stream right here. So let me show you real quick. And I'm just gonna leave the computer right here and grab the little stick here and show you. I don't want to mess with the USB because the USB cord is really easy to trip on this, and then it goes away. But there's my stream right down there, and you walk down this little path right here, and then it goes down, and then I purify water right down there, right on that little ledge right there. That's where I'm purifying water, and then we've got like out in that area, there's sun. I'm in shade right here, but there's sun out there. And so I can get solar action going, which is real nice. And then back over here, that's just where I have like, my tent, which just kind of saves the spot just in case if it's all good. And then Randy, yeah, I've got it's a little, it's not really a swimming hole. It's just more of like a really shallow cold plunge that I can do, which is just around the corner from here. So I'll do a video. I'll put that in the next video that I do, and that way y'all can see it. And it's a nice cold plunge. I mean, it's kind of cool. There's a big old trout that lives in there. And so when I get up there, it's a cold plunge. It's just literally, if you walk from my truck right here, right back, and then go down this little ledge, that's where the cold plunge is. But every time I go there, I spook this trout, and it's a pretty big trout. I think it's probably, for this stream, the stream's not very big. It's probably a 12-inch trout, which is a nice size. But I'll see it, and I'll come up there, and I can see its shadow. There's this rock that I lay up against, and it's always just sitting right up against this rock, kind of looking towards the current that's coming at it, looking upstream. Then I'll come spooking it. The thing just freaks out and goes all over and tries to get away from me. So I don't know if you all heard or if any of you all are following Craig Coleman online, my buddy with the dog that's blind. But, Rue had the blockage in his small intestine, and so he had to get that removed. And that was 2 weeks ago, and he recovered well. And then he started having yesterday. And so going to the vet and all that stuff and seeing what's up. So y'all may have seen Rue in some of my past videos, especially the ones this past spring when we were out hiking with Rue. And he's little white dog that's blind, but just goes out there and charges it and loves to howl. So anyway, so that's just an update on Rue. And Craig will be done with training in a couple, like 3 or 4 weeks, I think. And then he'll be done with his OTR training. Then he'll have a rig all to himself, and then Rue can join him. So let's see. All right. Maximilian McKinley, we're dealing with the smoking ash. Pine Frog. Oh, yeah. Where are you at, Maximilian? Jamie Davis, hello from Northern Indiana. Let's see. Are you still in Colorado? Yeah. So Hound's 40 outside. I'm still in Colorado. And hello from Montana. What's up, Dave? I'm actually moving my business to South Dakota, so I'll be next door. I think it's next door to Montana, or it's close. But yeah, I'm planning on sticking around here. I've got some buddies. If y'all remember the videos that I did about the 2 guys with the Tundras, my friends Tyler and Leo, they're going to come here tomorrow and hang out. And then I think after this, there's some creeks up the way here that I want to explore that I was talking to a local, and he said no one goes up in these spots because it looks like the road dead ends at these ranches. and it doesn't. There's a forest up behind it and goes all along these creeks that flow year round. And they come from way back up on the north side of the Sangre de Cristos. So I'm gonna go check that out and maybe do that like Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. But I want to spend some time in Crestone because that's a funky little town that I like. That's close to where I'm at, and they've been having good traffic so far this year with the tourists. But now the Texas crowd is going. That like their schools are starting up, and so they're starting to leave. And so I want to get on there and spend some money and just support the town a little bit. So let's see. Oh hey, what's up, Bob? Captain Bob, how you doing, man? Big Mo, what's up? Van Life Rocks from Southern California. Oh man, what's up? I was just actually talking to a friend today about when I used to live in San Clemente, because I used to live on North Beach there on San Clemente, up by the what was that, the surf club or the beach club? And there was a Kalani's coffee shop was up there, but I was out right at 204 surf break, and I used to walk down to Trestles and surf every day, which was incredible. So that was insane. Hey, Cheryl from North Carolina. I need to get out to North Carolina. People keep telling me about the Pigsaw National Forest. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. And then they say that Asheville's a really cool town, so I should go check that out. So yeah, Alan, the Sangre de Crystals, I love it up here. I mean, the only thing you got to deal with are bugs. But I've got this huge mosquito net coming tomorrow, and it's massive. It'll cover my entire vehicle and the tarp. And so once I have that, it's going to be great. And then I did confirm that all of my truck parts will be here in time for my truck upgrades. And I'm thinking about adding new shocks to the front and new upper control arms as well, just for a better ride. But I may save that for the next go around of upgrades. But I'm really excited for that because then I'll have the back bumper done with the swing out, with the drop down table. I'm going to get a bigger tarp that goes out off the back of the truck, which would be nice. And then I'm going to order the easy awning, the one that goes all the way around the 270. I'm going to order that as well. So I'm going to have a tarp and that just in case if I want to have extra coverage. And then that room's nice because you can put walls around it. So for those that are unfamiliar, let me put it up the link in the live stream here, just in the comments, and you can see what it is I'm talking about. So it's like a 270-degree awning, and it's really easy to pull out. It's all constructed like the beams that are the cross beams that come across. And let me show you here. Of course, this is taking a while. Here it is. All right, so this is the awning that I'm going to get, and then you can take it, like I was saying, you can put a room around it. You can have walls on the sides that go around it and make like a big, massive area, which would be great if I'm in real dusty areas or something like that. Because the goal is I was noticing here that even when I'm in the shade, like the little sliver when the sun's here, it's like I'm parking it right underneath this, and my topper will still get hot. And so, I got to think about Sierra's comfort. I got to think about my comfort. Also, I've noticed that if it gets too hot in there during the daytime, as soon as nighttime rolls around, it doesn't matter if it's cool or not. It's still warm in there, and it doesn't cool off until like midnight. And so that was frustrating. The other night, I don't think I fell asleep until 2 o'clock in the morning because it was warm. And for me, warm is like 70 degrees. And so I like to sleep around 55. So, all right, let's see. Actually, it's awesome. Asheville is one of my favorite places, but humidity is. Oh yeah, that's one thing. Like growing up in Kansas, the humidity was horrible. I worked landscaping in college. That was my summer jobs, and we'd plant trees, and these trees had huge bulbs that had these wire frames around them and stuff like that. So you had to wear real thick denim. So you wear real thick denim coats and real thick denim jeans. It'd be like 110 degrees with like 90% humidity in Kansas. I was like, man, I am never going to do this again. So once I got done with that stuff, man, that was pretty much end of that career. But my Jeep's in the garage. Oh, nice. Oh, $900 in labor. Dang, that's expensive for the upper control arms, Captain Bob. Dave, no, I've not been there yet to the Kester State Park. I want to check it out, and there's a bunch of areas up there I want to chill at. A friend of mine today was sending me coordinates for some camping up there that looks incredible, kind of like on the western side of the state. And there's a neat historic town that's up in there. And he was like, man, you got to get over here. He's like, this place is cool. And he was like, here's all these campsites that I never seen anybody at. And so I'd like to try to get over there. I probably won't get over there before the fall. Oh, I was going to say, so my big tent that I have, if y'all remember the 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 big 4-season tent that I have for winter camping, it's pretty much on its last leg. I mean, it's like the zipper in the front is starting to fade. It's starting to go, and I have to get it repaired all the time and all that stuff. So I think I'm going to do a snow trekker this winter. I don't know if you all have seen snow trekker tents, but it'd be much lighter weight, and it'd be easier for me to roll with. Now, it wouldn't provide as much protection as that huge tent that I have, the big outfitter's tent. But this one would be nice because I could set up in areas with like trees or something, and then have a little bit of protection from the wind there, so I wouldn't get hammered with it out there. Oh, baby girl, come here. You want to say hi to everybody? Come here. Over here. Come here. Oh, come here. You got Sierra in the house. She just got up. She was sleeping. Got up, come over here to do that, and then now she's going back to lay there. Let's see. What is your favorite font stuff? Some Flagstaff. I don't know Flagstaff very well. I know the Sedona area well, like Camp Verde and Pine and Strawberry. I don't know Flagstaff, so unfortunately I don't know that. So the tent setup that I have now, let me show you all what I have it real quick. It's the Bighorn 3 from Cabela's. So and I've been using this religiously. It has stood up to any tests, any weather I've thrown at it, it's taken it. And up here where I've been camping, the last 2 winters have been extremely windy, and it's no problem. It's designed to go up to 90-mile-an-hour winds. I think it's either 70 or 90. So this is the tent that I have. If y'all want to check it out. And I started using it in 2015, and then I think that now it's time to move to something a little bit lighter. Because the problem that I have with this tent is that it takes all day to break down and set up somewhere else, and get up in the morning and go set back up somewhere. I just want to do it all in one day. And so with the snow trekker tent, if I do one of the lighter ones, like the smaller ones of like a 2-person canvas tent with the bump outs on the side that I would just either stake to the ground or bury with snow stakes, I could use that, and then I could use the hip sled and put Sierra on the hip sled, and then have my stove on there, and then my tent, and then any food that I'd want to take out there, and kind of do more like winter backpacking, camping, which I think would be awesome. So, yeah, Lance, you're exactly right. Sierra is the star. So, but I think that's what the plan is for this winter, because I want to be more mobile, and then I also want to see, like, if there's a storm coming up or something like that, I want to get into those spots and experience a lot of intense weather. And the tent that I'm thinking about getting, the one that I'm probably going to get is let me see here. It's the short wall. So it would be this one right here, and I would get the 2-person. So it'd be pretty small. And altogether with the hip sled, it wouldn't be heavy at all. Like, if I have my snowshoes on and then I have a hip sled, I could easily jam back. Like in this area here, I could go back in the wilderness area like a mile or 2 where I know there's a big meadow, set up for a couple of days, hang out, have a fun winter experience, come back to my truck, go to somewhere else, as opposed to setting up in one spot and stand there for a week or 2 at a time. Now, I don't mind standing there for a week or 2 at a time, because I do kind of get into a rhythm. So I might split the winter and do half of it in the big tent, then half of it in the snow trekker. So we'll see. But yeah, well, I totally am grateful for this life. It's incredible living this way. I have so much fun. So for the fleas and ticks, yeah. Oh gosh, what is that called? We're lucky up here. There's not very many ticks up at the high country in Colorado, not above where we're at. So we're good to go there. As far as the fleas go, she's never had a flea problem, so I've been lucky about that. But I can't remember what the name of it is. The vet gives it to her, and it's like a pill, and then there's also like a collar that you can wear. But she does the pill, and it's like once every 3 months. I get something guard. I can't remember what it is. Then Liberated Lady, yeah, the schoolie owner. Yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah, you could go all the way around the schoolie on the backside, and that would be so awesome. You would have like a 180-degree covered area on the back. That'd be sweet. So, for Jack, have I ever camped over in Marble? I've not camped over in Marble. I'd like to. I worked for the town of Mount Crested Butte last summer. I was a gardener for all their wildflowers. It was really awesome. And I kept on meaning to like go on an ATV and go on over the Devil's Punch Bowl or whatever that is, and then go over to Marble, or just take the long way around and go check it out. but I've not been over there yet, and I mean to. I'd like to go check it out. So one of these days I'll get over there for sure. And then I also want to check out Crawford, and not really Paonia. I've heard plenty, but I've heard Crawford's kind of a neat old school throwback town, so that'd be kind of cool. But I'm looking forward to this winter though. Like I said, being a little bit more mobile with that tent, and then what I could do is I could bounce around like Utah area, because Utah in the winter no one's out there, and it gets cold. I mean, it gets down to the teens at night, and it'll get down to like 20s. But if you have a wood stove at night, you're good. And then in the daytime, you've got full sun, and it's like 50 degrees, 40 degrees, And so it's good for hiking and all that stuff. And so there'd be no one out there. And my whole goal is to go in areas during weather when people aren't there. Just because, like, it's been pretty busy here up in Colorado ever since the benefits, like those $600 benefits, really, once they really kicked in, a lot of people were out every week, and now I've noticed a marked decline in spending, at least over the last week or two. Less people up in the mountains. So, but there were a lot of people this summer out and about, and so this winter I'm kind of ready for some more solitude. And I really like this campsite that I'm at here because there's not been anyone around. I mean, I've not seen anybody here for. Let's see, I saw somebody here last Saturday, so it's been 5 days, and they're local. They live down in one of the towns across the valley over there, and they're like, oh yeah, we've seen your truck around. So it's kind of fun. I kind of feel like even though I live in my truck, I feel like I'm kind of localized in some areas. So, and then Olivia, definitely want to come to Appalachians. My brother lives in Brentwood, Tennessee, and so I'd like to go visit him one of these days. And when I do, I'd like to visit Appalachians. I'd like to go in the fall because I hear the colors out there are insane in the Smokies. So definitely want to see that. And then I also want to go up to the Northeast as well and experience like Maine and all those areas. So, hey, Jennifer Inman, thank you. Yeah, thanks. I hope all is well in Virginia Beach. Just moved away from Leadville. Oh, man. Oh, okay, cool. Well, dog book. Yeah, dude, I love Leadville. I know some people don't. People like, oh, Leadville's weird. I love that town, and I love wilderness areas like up north of there, and then also Mount Massive, all the great places to fish. Man, there's just so much. So that's really cool. The Blue Ridge Parkway in last October was gorgeous. Cool, Josh. I'll put that on my list of places to check out. So, but just to let you guys know, so I don't know if you all caught the news that my friend Tim from Folsom, Alaskan Overland, he was stopped at the border in Canada. He was going to come down here and hang out with me and Phil from Down the Mob, and he got turned back at the border even though he had a medical excuse because he was going to Georgia to get his knee fixed. And oh yeah, so for the $10, I was like, "What's the $10 Mercedes chance?" Like, what's that? I was like, "Oh, it's the 4x4 giveaway." But anyway, so Tim's not wasn't able to make it down. He got turned back at the border, and then Phil's still waiting for stuff to come in on his truck. So I don't know if he's going to make it out here in the next week or so. But there's that guy Mav, the YouTube channel Mav, that's and he's coming down this way. And I think the first week of September we're going to hook up and do some fishing and truck camping. So if y'all follow his channel, if you haven't, I'll put a link up in the comment section here about his channel. But let's see here, YouTube. See if I can pull it up real quick. If I can't, let's see. Yep, here it is. So here's his channel. I look forward to meeting him and hanging out. So yeah, he's coming out, and then Adventure Brad. He's not too active on YouTube, but he does every once in a while. He's got like paramotoring and just flying around and all that stuff. And we've hung out. I did a podcast with him and Phil a while back. And then my friend Rob Allen. I need to get in touch with him. Actually, I need to give him a call. He's from Missouri, and he owns like a really big outdoor survival school, and he bought a Tacoma and decked it all out, and he wants to come out here. But I think he was thinking about maybe rescheduling because of the smoke, and that's what I'd recommend. Anybody that wants to come out here and visit right now, I'd say wait until the forest fires died down a little bit, because the smoke in some areas is so bad that the Forest Service is having to shut down some of the trails because the smoke inhalation is dangerous for people to be on trails. So it's just a lot of smoke. There's 4 different fires in the entire state. And the winds keep changing direction, and it's like swirling it around. So it's not blowing out of the state. It's just kind of staying here. And then I heard it's getting into northern New Mexico now, like Taos area, and it's over in Denver and Colorado Springs, that whole area. So just, if you have any breathing problems, I'd say steer clear until maybe like a couple, 3 or 4 weeks from now. And plus, by then, everybody will be gone, and the leaves will start changing colors like the latter part of September. So I'd say just steer clear. This is my ploy to get everybody to stay away so I can fish. Kidding, but no, really, it's bad. I mean, I can't breathe at all with this stuff. I just kind of sit up at night till about midnight and try to sleep sitting up. It never really works. So, Lake State Park, Northern Iowa. Oh, cool. Yeah, I need to check that out, Connie. Thank you, Renee. I appreciate the compliment on the channel. Yeah, Rita, I look forward to hanging out with Mav, and he's been fishing a bunch too. So he was like, yeah, I want to get into some stuff up here, up in the high country. I was going to take him to those places I was fishing about a month ago in all my videos when I was catching the really big cuts and just like one lake after another with just massive cutthroats. So it'd be cool. How's January thing coming? It depends on where you go in January. There can be some really pleasant days in January. I've had days in January where it's been insanely awesome. Like daytime temps in the 50s, evening temps in the 30s. No problem to truck camp that, at all. But I've also had days in January where the nighttime temp was negative 25. And so it's really kind of up in the air. The nice thing is that if you go to a mountain town where there's not a ski resort in the wintertime, you can pick up a VRBO for nothing. So, it's something to think about. And so if you look on a map and you just pick a town that doesn't have anything close to it, if you're passing through, that's an easy way to stay somewhere cheap and then also just stay in the mountains. So spending most of the time in California, that's cool. Yeah, I definitely, I was thinking about California today. I was planning on being out there. I was planning on looping up through Idaho this past spring, and going through Oregon and then going through Washington and then back down into going through Idaho and then over into Washington and then down to Oregon and then over into California and then down to Southern California for winter because I wanted to maybe spend a little bit of time there before the winter got bad here. But with all the COVID stuff and then with the shipping being delayed on everything, like all my truck parts, I had to cancel everything with a bunch of different vendors and reorder from other vendors just to get them here, and it's been crazy. So my schedule was completely screwed up. So I was thinking now I may start my winter camping in either Leadville or this winter because, thank you, Eric. I appreciate that. I was showing all the time. Thanks for tuning in, man. I appreciate that. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm trying to do these more often. I'm trying to do them at least once a week. So, and especially in the wintertime, I want to live stream a bunch because I want to show people what it's like to winter camp. So be sure to tune in on those too. But I think that if I started over in Crested Butte, when I left there in October last year, it was like October 4th. No, that's right around the corner. That's not too far away. And the evening temperatures were already in the negatives. And so I could go over there and I could test out that tent without a bunch of snow piling up. I could test it in cold weather and kind of get familiar with the snow tracker. And then if I wanted to, kind of Cadillac winter camp it in the big one for a bit and then go back over the snow tracker and bounce around. So we'll see what happens. Well, let's see here. Let me see what's going on. So yeah, Colorado's pretty good. From the north of Mexico. Oh, dang. 100,000 acres. That's huge. I didn't realize New Mexico was having that. Yeah, no fire, no problem up in northern Mexico or in South Dakota. Yeah, Alan. Yeah, I think the only reason to leave Colorado is because it's so overrun now. Like when I moved here in '98, they were getting about 40 million. No, like was it 40 million or 30 million tourists a summer or a year? And now it's like I think the numbers from 2 years ago is 91 million. And so it's just so many people, and it's hard to see places that you love just kind of overrun and shut down all the time. And I like seeing new stuff, and I want to see the Pacific Northwest. I'd like to see those old growth forests. That's one thing that we don't have a whole lot of here in Colorado. There's old growth around. You just have to know where to go. Sorry, we keep so annoying. Check in with us when you're in. Cool, I will, Valerie. Definitely. But yeah, so Rocky Mountain Prepper. No, that lady who threatened me with the gun, nothing ever happened to her. I filed the complaint, and they're like, well, the police were just kind of full of crap on it. They were like, well, you got her on video, but she wasn't pointing the gun at you. I'm like, what? Would I need to get shot? I mean, what the hell? So it's kind of disappointing in that. They're like, well, we have it on record in case something happens. I'm like, well, you guys know that if she shoots somebody, I tried to help you avoid. Yeah. And they didn't like my smart aleck comments, but that's just stupid. I don't understand that. Like, who threatens somebody like that in the backcountry? It's like, and if I was a loose cannon and had like a bunch of guns on me or knives on me at the time, and just felt like popping off, I could have been like, yeah, she was pulling a gun on me, and I was defending myself, and that's just not a good scenario you ever want to be in. So that's just crazy. But yeah, Alan, I stay away from the front range for sure. I try to. My rule of thumb is either like South Colorado, because no one really goes down there, they forget about it because it's kind of more arid. Or if you go past the Continental Divide, you typically can get into some pretty good spots, especially on the weekdays. The weekends, everybody gets out and about. On the weekdays, I don't ever see anybody out in those areas. So, adventure experience. Thank you. Thanks for tuning in from Denver. I used to live down in Curtis Park. So what tires do I run? I run the BF Goodrich KO2s. They're actually right here. So let me just turn them around. Just around real quick. So it's the BF Goodrich KO2s. I'm real pleased with them. A lot of people talk about how there's different. Let me pull this down here. That there's chunking that comes out of the tire, like right here. But I don't have any chunks missing on mine. They say the sidewall cracks, and I've never had that on here, so I wheel these things pretty hard. Those are 33-inch tires, and I got the C sidewall, the C rating instead of the E load. And the reason why that is because I'm not pulling a trailer, and so there's no reason to have the E load on there on the Tacoma. All that is make tires super loud, and so I got the C load, and they were about $300 cheaper for the total set, which is nice. And I like them. They're really great tires. They look great. I think they perform well. I air them down to about 20 psi every time I go out on trails, and they don't have any problem with like the air down and air back up process. I mean, I've probably got, I would say, 30,000 on this pair, 30,000 miles so far, and I think they're rated to like 55 or 60. So. Dude, that sucks. You've been shot at, Rocky Mountain Pepper. That's not cool. We had another individual. So yeah, Frogwell, no problem. I had another time where I was camping with some friends of mine. We were down near Rainbow Falls in Colorado Springs area. And there was this crazy dude who pulled a rifle on us and like had it on us with a scope for like as far back as we could see. He was on a ridge and he was standing there looking at us like, "You get the hell out of here!" And you could tell he was on something. And I was like, "Whoop." So now I just go to areas where I know there's nobody around. I'm super cool to anybody I see. and Sierra breaks the ice. I mean, heck, if anybody's mad at her, they've got problems. So Sierra's never had to defend me. I've never had anybody come at me like that. I did have one old guy in Buena Vista try and kick her, and he's just this old crotchety guy. And I told him, I was like, dude, I don't care if you're 1,000 years old, you try to kick my dog and I will whoop your ass. And I got up in his face and he was like, "Your dog's not on leash." And his dog was walking right next to him. I'm like, your dog's not on leash. I was like, you're coming into my camp, like trying to kick my dog for no reason. What the hell? Like, so there's just people out there that are off kilter. But out of the 5 years that I've been out here, I've only had like 3 experiences with people that are aggressive. One was that lady who was crazy. I knew she wasn't going to shoot me, so I wasn't worried about that. The second was the old guy, and I knew he wasn't a threat. I was just worried about him kicking Sierra because he got her in the side. It just luckily didn't hurt. And then the third was the issue with the dogs that got Sierra in Arizona. So, but I figured out of 5.5 years of being out here, that's not bad. So let's see. What else we got here? Yeah, I did keep the AC200. So. So for Chris, you can buy it. I think it's like it's $14.99 right now. They've got an Indiegogo link, and let me put it up. I think you can still buy it through the Indiegogo link. Sorry, I'm so stopped up. I can't even think straight. Oops. I can't even type either. Indiegogo AC200. Here it is. Yeah, and then I think it's going to be released September 17th, finally on Amazon, and that price will be $17.99. But right now, I think it's that. Let me see. I don't know where it is actually. I don't know where we can sign up for that. But yeah, I like that battery. It's cool, and I know Phil from down the mob, he's keeping his too, and he's gonna try to get like a small little off-grid cabin somewhere and have that power, which I think that'd be perfect for powering that. Now, what I'm gonna do is after all these truck upgrades, obviously this one thing, and then figure out the topper solution for next summer. I keep the Atlas. I'll probably just go with that, the AT Overland Atlas, and then I could use that AC200 to power anything in there, and it could also power a small little window unit. So I could do a little cutout on the back and put a little window unit, AC unit in there if I wanted to do that. Then switch on my solar panels, because the difference is that I'm using a low voltage current right now on my solar panels. It's only like a 21 volt, and or only pushes out like 21 volts, and that requires 35 to 150 volts. So it's a high voltage system. So it's a totally different type of solar panel. So I've got to get rid of those panels and get a new one. So I don't know what I do, or I may just put it in storage and just save it until I get a cabin. So, Thomas, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm having fun out here, and it's really fun to share all these experiences with everybody and kind of share what works for me. Because I think that if I'm able to show people how to do these things and maybe give them a quicker route than what I was able to figure stuff out. Because there's really no blueprint to do this stuff. But if I can be like a blueprint on how to get out here and do things, and maybe figure out how to get on the road quicker, that's what I want to do. And I'm actually starting to write a journal or a guide right now on how to be a truck camper. And so I don't even know if I can put this in the comments here, but let me see if I can. It's called Truck Camping Guide, and it's like right now I've just got the intro, and then I started writing the first section, which is leave no trace ethics, like basically how to stay clean when you're out here, and tips on how to avoid being detected, basically, and being spotted as somebody who lives in their vehicle full time. And then also too, like how to check your ego, because you're gonna camp in spots you don't want to camp in, and you're gonna sleep in areas you don't want to sleep in. And coming straight from the corporate world, going into doing this, that's a reality check, because there's times you're sleeping at, you might even sleep like at a gas station or something if you're traveling, or a travel station or something like that. And or like a Walmart. I stayed in a Walmart one time when I got to New Mexico. I didn't know where I was going, up in the Gila Wilderness, and so I stayed at a Walmart in Silver City. The only time I ever stayed in a Walmart, and it was fine. But it's like, there's stigmas associated with that, and like the ego, and just kind of like, I got to go out and find like a cool campsite. But sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. So I'll be putting that out here soon, and I'm going to put it out free for everybody to consume. And then if people want to do like one-on-one coaching, then I could probably offer that in the future. I just don't know what those rates are going to be. So let's see here. Let me see what else we got. Let's see, Frogwald. I'd say Tacoma's good. The Tacoma's really good. The problem is the limited space that I have right now. So I'll let you know after I get the new topper that has the bed on top. Once I figure out which one I want to go with, and like I said, I'm leaning towards the AT Overland Atlas. And once I get that, it'll be the perfect rig. But the one rig that is really awesome that I would recommend checking out is the 2005, 2006 Toyota Tundras. And you get the double cab and the 6-foot bed that has the 6 inches deeper bed than the normal. And you get a high-rise topper on that, like just a normal cap with the high-rise topper. And you can make a sweet setup in there that you could almost go stealth in if you were like in cities. If you needed to just hop in the back, you could. So as long as you're not 8 feet tall, you'd fit fine in something like that. So that'd be pretty cool. So let's see what else we got. I don't have any power, but died. Yeah, Beth, that's the only thing is like these new batteries coming out, they're good, but the problem is they're so expensive. I mean, the lithium ion, as soon as that came out and started changing the game, and the prices skyrocketed, and now a lot of companies are putting all these neat features on the batteries, which are great, but it drives up the cost. And so, that's definitely a drawback to that. If I happen to get any additional samples or something, and they tell me to get rid of anything that I've used, then I'll sell stuff, for a discount if I end up getting rid of anything. So let's see what else. Love the AT Overland Atlas. Yeah, those are awesome. Those are great. Look forward to the guide. Cool. Let's see what else. So Jose, the awning that I have, this is the ARB. It's the 2500 awning. So it's 8 feet wide by 8 feet tall, and it attaches pretty easily. to the roof rack, I've actually got 3 access points where it's attached. So I've got brackets that I screwed into each of the poles. You can kind of see the screws, like the little silver things on the underside of the poles there. I screwed those in and attached it, and then it just rolls out. You know, it's real easy when it rolls out. So, and I've used it now. This one I've used now for 4 years, and it's just now starting to die on me. And so, I mean, I'm impressed with it. Like the arms and everything have held up really good. Those arms are usually known for you know, in awnings to bend and everything. And I go out in pretty harsh conditions, and it's never been a problem. So that's a nice awning. It's like $300 or $320 for this awning. They also have one that's 6 feet wide, and then one that's 4 feet wide. And I've seen people take the 6 and take them off the back of a full size truck, and then you could have, you know, the awning off just come directly off the back of your roof rack for any sort of truck cap that you have, which would be pretty nice. So, so Zach, in the corporate world, I did sales. I did online sales for like 15 years, and then I owned my own sign company for 5. So let's see. Andy, that sounds awesome. I'm gonna be camping with friends this weekend, but maybe let's see. I might be able to get out on Sunday. So hit me up on my website. I don't know. Let me message you real quick, or put up my contact page. So this is the page that, like, if you go through this form, it goes to my email. So yeah, shoot me a message about. I might be able to get up there on Sunday. I don't know what these guys' plans are for camping. If they're going to be here through Sunday or take off in the morning on Sunday or what. But we'll figure something out. So let's see. Let me get caught up here real quick. Randy, I actually, you know, I haven't caught catfish. Golly, I gotta say, like in probably a decade, because all the areas I fish don't have catfish anymore, or don't have catfish anymore. So like these high altitude areas, it's all just, you know, it's all just trout where I'm at pretty much. And then there's some areas like in Sedona, to where like Oak Creek Canyon has like smallmouth bass. So I'll do some smallmouth bass fishing too. So, so Chris has to go. My camper van is a Honda Odyssey. Cool. Those are nice on the inside. They have a ton of room. Isaac, I think small trailers are fine. I mean, I think eventually I'm going to probably get a small camper that I'll hold behind a truck eventually in my elderly years. But I've got friends, like my friends Baron and Elsa, that roll in the 13-foot scamp. They love it. And then even the smaller ones, like at the 4x4 trailers, those things are great. You know, you can put like rooftop tents on those, and they have little cooking station, and then you can unhook them and go wheel wherever you want, use it as your home base. So they're great. I mean, the only drawback I hear from everybody that has a trailer is like it's still a trailer. You know, like you're still pulling a trailer. So it's not like just driving around just with your vehicle. It's pretty close on some of those small ones, but not the same. So just something to think about. Let's see here. Yeah, hey Evan. So yeah, the smoke has been. It started up in Glenwood Canyon area, and then the wind pattern changed, and it came down through. Let's see, came down to like the Aspen area, into like Paonia and Crawford, then went over Crested Butte, and then also through Montrose, and then it came over in mass over Monarch, and then poured into like Chaffee County and that whole area. And so I came down close to the sand dunes to go camp because it wasn't bad down here. Now there is smoke down here, but it's not like it is in other areas. Like I can still see the mountains across the way. There was one day where I couldn't see them, but I saw them today. And the winds are I'm kind of like on the southern end down here, but I'm definitely stepped up. Like I can't breathe very well with this, so hopefully it dissipates soon. So let's see. Oh yeah, so Beth, yeah, I'm down in Saguache County. I'm not out of the smoke, but it's less down here. It's not as bad. So let's see. What's up, Nomad Mac? Yeah, thanks. That giveaway. That's I hope somebody, whoever wins it, contacts me and like, hey, let's go out for the first weekend, because you know you can pick the Sprinter van up here in Denver, because that's where Vansmith is. It's going to do all the custom upgrades, and then I'll be in Colorado, you know, because I think it's like 83 days from now is when the winner's announced, so it'd be pretty cool. Jose, you got that new Ford Ranger. That is a yeah, I wouldn't think there's not a lot of aftermarket parts yet, because that's a new vehicle. But man, that looks sharp. I saw one of those Rangers the other day when I was out on a trail. I thought, damn, that's a good looking truck. So like, I'm impressed with that truck. Chevy's got the Colorado. That's the diesel that I'm super impressed with. So there's some good like, vehicles, good trucks being made here in the States that I think are up and coming. I think that new Ranger's sharp. Let's see what else have we got. Sorry, I'm getting caught up in everything. Let's see. So Travis, can I remember the Flint Hill burns? It's almost more, but it's just because there's so much dead debris on the ground, especially if it hits any wilderness areas. The smoke from it is just a lot heavier from as far as content. Like, there's more of it because once the grass burns, after it burns and it smolders a little bit with the tall grasses, there's not that much smoke left on the backside. You'll get like that huge smoke wall, but it won't be sustained. Well, up here it's sustained because there's so much biomass on the ground that burns that there was one fire, the fire that was the Weston Pass fire 2 or 3 years ago. It smoldered for a month and a half. And that's crazy. So, oh yeah, you had to go to California. Oh, you had to come to California for a minute. The smoke's bad here. Just left Colorado. Yeah, it sucks. I saw that California, like Southern California, is getting hit with fires too, and it's just like this time of year. It always seems like August. Like the latter part of August, the forest fires crop up, and then it's like this until the first really big sustained rain, or the first snowfall. So. Chris, that's funny. If you were single, you'd be doing that. It's great, man. I love being out here, and like being in this area. I mean, I just want to show you all where I'm camping. I mean, I showed you for those that are just now tuned in. This is the stream that's next to my camp here. It comes down from way up there, bends around here, goes around that way, and there's a nice cold plunge pool over there, and all these little pockets have trout in them. So that's really nice. And then during the daytime, I've got these trees that are really great for providing shade around my rig. And so it's been awesome. There's really not been anyone around at all. I mean, not anybody at all. So it's kind of nice considering that, going into town, I think would be kind of a risky proposition. I've got friends that are talking about some of the confrontations they're having with folks in town, and I'd prefer to avoid that at the moment. Sorry, I'm having some problems with this thing. All right, there we go. But I think the plan is still just to stay away from people. I mean, I haven't really been around towns since January, so I'm, like anytime I go to town, I'm respectful. I wear a mask, and I've got the road shower on my truck, so I wash my hands when I go to place because I don't want to get COVID, even if it's just a bad cold. I don't want it. And if it's worse than that, I really don't want that. So, but my strategy is just to keep staying out here and just doing what I'm doing because I'm pretty much all set up now for everything. It's kind of nice. I can charge. I've got I don't know if y'all saw the inverter in the video that I put up this morning, but the inverter kicks out like 350 watts for my AC 200 because I don't have the right solar panel to charge it. So I can quick charge that. It takes like maybe, let's see, that would take like 5 hours to do the whole battery. And then my other battery, the EB150, that's even bigger than the AC 200. But the difference is the EB150 doesn't have as big of a load capacity, like a surge capacity. So it wouldn't be able to handle stuff like air conditioners. But it has a bigger battery life for longer duration, I guess. So, and then with the high volume water purifier and the new DOMETIC fridge that's coming and the swing out on the back, I'll be able to carry 10 gallons more of gas, which will give me like another 200 miles of, 150 to 200 miles of trails. I can really stay out for a long time. So I want to rebuild the back of my truck here because for those that are unaware, I do have back seats taken out. So I took the back seats out of my truck, and this was kind of like a crude just frame that I was building up in Preston Butte in the shop there before I hit the road and went down to New Mexico after I stopped working for the town. And I want to rebuild that and put in like legit shelves and, put the fridge like on a slide so I could slide it out and then have like a cutting board on it and all that stuff. And so redo all that. And then, like the main stuff will be done by the election. That's what I want to have happen, because who knows what's going to happen with society these days. Everybody's nuts. And so I wanted to have all the hardware done on my truck, and then all the like honey-do things that I wanted, like the, I'd like to get the suspension upgraded, but that's not a must. I've already got suspension. It'd just be a better ride if I did, but it's not an absolute positive or an absolute necessity. There's I'd like to get that, but if for some reason I can't, if some stuff gets crazy to where they can't get shipped or whatever, it's no big deal. I'll still have my basic rig set up to where I can stay out for a long time, and that's what I wanted. So it's nice to finally have it all come together. Oh, I didn't realize my battery's getting low on this. I think I've got 7% more battery, so I think we should be good. Oh, and I want to say thanks to Jose for the $5 there, man. I appreciate that. So let's see. Let me get caught up on everything here real quick. I'll read through this. Scroll from Texas. Oh, that's cool, Patricia. That's awesome that you quit your dentistry job to do this. That's really cool. Come to Colorado. It's great up here. You can truck camp anywhere. There's, especially if you get some more remote sections of Colorado, there's no one around. So let's see. Olivia, how do I find my contest? Well, you can look online. The problem with looking online is that everybody else is looking online too. And so when you find like a free campsites.net campsite, chances are there's going to be a bunch of other people there as well. And so I stay away from those sites. And what I do instead is I'll look on a map and I'll kind of look around and I'll see like, oh, this is like cool geological features in the area. And then I'll see if there's roads that go there. And the best thing is that my GPS, I've got the Garmin InReach. And then if you pair that with the EarthMate app, the Garmin EarthMate app, then you download all the different maps that you can download for different areas. You can use that to explore without actually going there. You can use it to kind of see what's in those areas. And so what I'll do is I'll start driving trails and I'll make notes of all these places that I go to. I've got like 5 years of notes of different places to camp. And there's lots of places I never put online that I go to. And I'll film stuff when I'm there. I just won't say where I'm at. And there are places that I still don't ever see people. There's a place that I go to, and it's next to a really popular lake, and no one knows the site that is there. And I've been there for 5 years straight. And every time I go there, the same exact wood that I used the last time I was there is in there. Because I'll arrange it a certain way, and it will be there. And I'm just like, man, no one knows about this place. And it's like all these little obscure, like, paths that I'll find that are hidden from the main road, but they're there. But it's like there's a bush that's blocking it, or a tree that's blocking it from the view, and you can't see it. So unless you like slow down and really look at some of these spots, a lot of times people miss stuff. Another thing too is volunteering for the Forest Service and the BLM and some of the local organizations in the valleys. You get to know these areas because you're out there doing work on public land, like volunteering, whether it's picking up trash or doing trail work. And the locals will tell you like, oh, have you been up that trail to mountain bike? Or, oh, have you been over there to fish? And you'll just get information. So that's a really great way to learn. And you learn quick. Like you've gone on these trails, and a lot of times it'll be in an area that you've never been to, like the trail project will be. Like, hey, meet up here. Then you'll go up there, and then the crew that you're with will tell you like, oh yeah, on the way up, if you saw this aspen grove, go there in the fall. It's the best aspen grove they'll go to because the colors are changing. Or go to that stream over there and hit that one bend, and there's always these big brown trout that sit right there, like stuff like that. Like after a while, you just get all that information. So I'm going to move my computer real quick up here just because